I am a Canva learning consultant. So I actually am part of the Canva for Education team. I am located in Houston, Texas area. So what that means is that I am a full-time digital learning coach literacy at a high school campus. And this is my About Me page. So I created this About Me page in Canva. I've been using Canva since 2018 when I was a teacher in the classroom for middle schoolers. And I first started off just very simple, just playing with flyers because I used to do coding club and I used to just make flyers and little presentations. And then I really have been building from there. So if at any point you want to make something like this, trust me, it took me only 10 minutes to do. All of this stuff was already in Canva. All I had to do was just go ahead and place the things I liked. But all of these little objects, that chalkboard background, all of that was in Canva already. All I had to do was pick and choose what I did and did not like and want and moved it around a bit. And then I added some pictures for my own personal flair. So Canva is amazing. And this is all free for educators, and it's also free for students. So like they said in the opening session, Canva is a creation tool and it's amazing. I'm very happy to work with them to go ahead and show other teachers, including my own teachers that I support on my campus, the amazing magic of Canva for Education. So the goal for today is to, right now you're sitting in Canva 101. It's a beginner Canva session. So I'm just gonna get you started. We're gonna go ahead and get to know what it takes to get started and leave you mastering just the flow of how to open something up, how to find your design areas, and how to get started with that. We're not gonna get too crazy. It's in Canva 201 and my Canva video editor session that will actually get a little bit more detailed. This is just your beginning tiptoeing into that Canva ocean session. But it's a great place to start. So our agenda is here. We just start off with the basics. Again, I'm gonna post the slide deck link in the chat. So you need it. Here it is. And then I'll go ahead and post it again later on towards the end. And then as you can see, just a quick preview, we are going to cover a lot. So I may talk relatively fast. But if at any point you need me to slow down, don't hesitate to just put in the chat, hey, can you show it again? Or can you slow up? I just want to make sure that I go over some cool stuff with Canva for Education. And a lot of this is going to be me showing you how to do it. So if you have a dual screen or you know how to dual screen with your one monitor or anything like that, that would be best because I'm really going to try to get you practicing just the basics. But you can also take it with you, like I said, and this is being recorded. So you should be able to get a copy of this recording later on. So with that being said, the first thing I like to get y'all to do is log into Canva, into your Canva, because I want you to get practicing. So go ahead and take a moment. You're going to go to canva.com. That's going to be usually in the top right. It's going to be a purple button. You click login. It should take you to this little box that's in the picture. It says log in to your account. You're gonna log in using your Newton County credentials, and either way works. You can either, I believe, type it in or use the Google. I personally love sign in Google. That's just my personal favorite. So definitely do that if you like that too. But use your Newton County login credentials and go ahead and start doing that. If you already had a Canva account and you're not new to it, you just don't see Newton County yet or something like that, go ahead and log out and then log back in, because that's how you'll see the Newton County team and you'll be able to pull and see all that wonderful stuff. So once you're ready to go and you're logged into your Canva account, give me a thumbs up emoji in the Zoom call, just so I know where we're at and I know when I can move ahead. Someone did just step in, so I went ahead and put the slide deck in the chat again. If you have any questions or having trouble logging in, please put it in the chat so I can try to help. Can everyone hear me? Hello? Okay. Sorry, I was like, is anyone, okay, please make sure you're logging in. Once you're logged in, just give me a cue, like a thumbs up emoji on the Zoom chat, or just put it in the chat like you're good to go, just so I know where everybody's at. Awesome. Yeah, late arrivals. I'm going to put the slide deck in the chat again one more time. Right now, for those who just came in a little bit late, we're just signing into our Canva accounts. This session will ask you to get into the Canva account to practice with some of the tools. So once you're logged in, the better, just so you can get that full experience of Canva 101. It's a lot of interactive parts. And then once you're good to go, give me a thumbs up emoji on the Zoom call, or you can go ahead and just put in the chat, whatever's easier to let me know. Okay, I'm gonna give everybody a couple seconds. If you haven't given me that thumbs up or chat, you got a few more seconds, then we gotta move forward, okay? But if you need help, put it in the chat too, to let me know if maybe I need help troubleshoot. If you just jumped in, I am asking everybody to log into their Canva account. Simplest ways, go to canva.com, look at the top right, look for the purple button, click login, and then log in using your Newton County credentials. If you're used to doing that with Google, by all means do it with Google. And I'm going to go ahead and move forward with that. I'm going to put the slide deck in one more time into that chat because we do have a couple of late arrivals coming in. So let me go ahead and put that in. I think the opening maybe. Okay. We're gonna move forward. Anybody that just came in, go to canva.com. I'm gonna put the slide deck in one more time. Those of y'all who've been with me a couple minutes already, I've been repeating myself. I know, I apologize. I just want to make sure those who came in late, we had a few come in late, like a good handful. So I want to make sure those that did come in late get that slide deck link, have a chance to log in, go to canva.com, look at the top right, click login at the top right. We got to move forward. So I put the slide deck in the chat just so you can see the login instructions in case you don't know how to already. That will be on slide number 6. We already did do some intros, so I'm going to move us forward so we can get started. So okay. All right, so Canva, what is Canva? Canva is for education is a tool that you can use for collaboration, creativity, and visual communication. It's awesome when it comes to helping our students build those essential skills that they'll need for the 21st century, which relatively means a lot of business industries, and it's not just business, that's other industries, are looking for more individuals that have creativity and collaborative skills. So once our students enter the workforce, we want to make sure they had time in our classrooms to practice that. So it's just out of habit. It's nothing they have to really work at. It's a habit. It's a skill that they can just use going into the workplace that is needed. What's amazing about Canva for Education is as you're creating with your students in mind, you can make visually engaging materials and activities, such as, for example, as I go through my slide deck, this video automatically played. It's just some guy moving his hands. But as an educator, I think about, oh, how amazing would this be if I was making a how-to slide deck, let's say for math. And you know how math has steps. So step 1, it shows the student or something. Here's how step 1. Then go to the next slide, that's step 2. Next slide, step 3. It really kind of helps build that, that visually engaging material. So you can do more things like station rotations or blended learning. You could even flip it where you have the students make their own slides. So you tell them, okay, I'm gonna check for y'all's understanding now. I want y'all as a group, you know, come up with slide 2, that's step 2 of the word problem, anything like that. You can really use these slides and visually engaging materials both for you and for your students. And it does try to make teachers' lives easier when you're designing in Canva for Education by having everything already there. That's something I like about it, is that most of the things are already there, or they work with third-party apps to make sure. They're always open to feedback as well. So if you ever have feedback, teacher Twitter is very popular with Canva for Education. You can go on there, or Facebook, let them know, hey, I have some feedback. And they're very open-minded to trying to reach teachers where they need to. Canva actually started off as a marketing graphic design company, but within the last year and a half, they've moved into Canva for Education. So prior to COVID and everything, Canva was always free to teachers. During COVID, it stayed free, and after COVID, it's still free. So I really trust Canva for Education to always remain free. That's what they've assured me, is that it will always stay free to teachers and students K through 12, as long as Canva exists. So one of the things that they wanted to do with that was move into something called Canva for Education. Canva for Education is a little bit newer, but that means they're just doing more of a commitment for teachers. So they are building out a more wonderful thing where they ask for, sorry, lost my state of mind. I saw a lot of newcomers, so let me put my slide deck in the chat. So that way, if you need the slides, you can see what you missed. The slide deck is in the chat, and this is being recorded. So don't worry if you came in a little bit late. Okay, so Canva for Education is essentially a little bit more of a niche in the platform where they're helping with building out content for educators for like certain content areas. There we go. Okay, so what's wonderful about it is that it has the visual communications platform that basically it works off templates. So you can create from scratch, but if you're not someone that's used to creating from scratch, if you're like, oh, I just want to, you know, sometimes you go on things like Pinterest or something, we see a nice worksheet or a nice, really cool poster, and we're like, oh, it's almost perfect. If only you could say this instead of that, or if only you could look a little bit different colors instead of that. What's wonderful about Canva is it does all these templates that you can customize for free. So you can change that little bit of text, and you can change that color or the visuals, and you don't have to feel like, oh, I have to take it and just kind of deal with it. No, you can take the templates and make it how you want. It's really cool. Like I said, everything is already all in one place, and you just got to search and just be willing to play and add things. So what's included in this platform is that it's 100% free with over 60,000 high quality educational templates, and they just keep adding to it. So don't feel like, oh, they don't have my content yet. If they don't have it yet, they are building it out, and I'll show you where you can find all that in one moment. You also have free unlimited content to millions of premium images, illustrations, videos, etc. that you don't have to make yourself. They're already there, and they're really nice. They're very beautiful. So if you were with me at the very beginning of the presentation, we saw my About Me slide. Like I said, everything I was in there except for maybe the pictures of me and my family. So it's really cool. And then there's also the capability to collaborate and comment in real time, very similar to the Google Suite platform, that you can see, well, who's in it at what time, who's like, oh, I see them editing it in real time. Oh, I see them working in it, and they can see you vice versa. So it's really cool with that. And then there's also the capability to organize your content, whatever you create, into folders and groups. So the wonderful thing about Canva is, just like Google, everything saves automatically, but just like with Google, we got to build good habits. Then at that point, and actually get used to organizing our stuff so we don't lose it. So you want to make sure that you start creating folders and groups. I'll show you how to do that, and you want to make sure things go where they need to go. So I'm going to give you all a moment just to look over all the wonderful different ideas. This is only a sampling, trust me, like it's a little sample of the things you can do in Canva that are already there. They have group work activities, infographics, posters, templates for video, social emotional learning activities, etc. They have a lot. What's wonderful too is you can print things out. So if you need to have that where it's like you can't really get them online, you'd rather have it printed. Most of the things you can't print, which is awesome. Or you can use it online. They try to build for you the ability to do both, one or the other. So you don't have to feel like, oh, I can only do online or I have to only do print. You can do one or the other. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to get started with finding a template. I'm going to show y'all first, and then after I show y'all, I'll give y'all a little bit of time to be interactive. So if you have not logged in yet, please log in. If you came in late, that's going to be slide 6 on the slide deck if you need those instructions. But pretty much what you do is you go to canva.com, you find the login button in the top right, and you log into Canva using your Newton County credentials. Okay, so ways to get started. I'm going to share with you how to get started by role modeling it. So I'm going to go to canva.com. Once you're in canva.com, yours will look relatively similar. Yours may have a white background instead of a dark background. I prefer dark. I just changed it in account settings, so it is easy to change to dark if you prefer the dark background, but yours will look similar. From here, you can go ahead and see all of my recent designs. If you're new to Canva, you won't see anything yet, but as you continue to build and design, you'll see that in your homepage, and you can see all the things you've ever done. From here, this is where I'm going to start looking for templates. So the first way to look for templates is to start off in the general homepage area. If you're still confused if you're in the homepage or not, always look to the top left. If you see the Canva logo, that's how you know. Then I'm going to look at this left-hand side toolbar area that basically gives me a whole lot of things I can click. To find templates, I'm simply going to click on templates on the left. Okay, so once I click on that templates on the left, I'm going to be taken to the whole entire section of Canva for Education. So I'm going to go ahead and open it. And then once it loads, like I said, you'll see the entire Canva for Education platform area of what they have broken down. Your left-hand side changes into a filter area now, so you can go ahead and filter. And then as I scroll down, I'll see different things that I can look. If I want to look just at infographics, I can click on infographics. It'll take me just to that. If I want to look at presentations only, I can click on that. What's wonderful too is you can also browse by subject. So like, for example, math. Math is such a general term, right? But if I click on math, it takes me into there. And then on the left-hand side, I can filter it down to the specific subject like algebra or geometry or something like that. It works for science, all those other general ones that you would think, oh, they just use science. That's so general. There's bio and chem and all that. You just click on it and browse by subject. It'll let you filter it down further. You can browse by content, such as things you may like based off what you've created recently. You can see there's classroom award certificates, there's flyers, there's videos. What's nice is that if the video or presentation has animations that move, they preview that for you. So you don't have to like be like, does it move or not? It does do a preview of it. So it's really cool. You can see a whole bunch. If you direct your eyes to the right as well, you'll see like the see all arrow. If you click that, you can see more of that design. So you can see a little bit more infographics if you want more of a, look at it, anything like that. Let's say I come across one that I love, okay? So for example, let's say I love this one, the time transition words, and I'm like, oop, that's it. I like it. I want it. How do I get it? It's very easy. All you got to do is just click on it. It's going to say, hey, like it gives you a bigger preview. Make sure that you really like it. If you're like, yep, that's it. That's the one I want. Click the purple customize this template. And then now you're going to open that automatically will open it up into your design area. Okay. So your design area of Canva will give you all of those editable things that you can change and switch and do a whole bunch of different things. Okay, so again, it was really easy. Once you find a template that you love or want to try to use, all you got to do is click on it. It gives you a preview, customize this template, and then it'll take you to that area to start making it your own. So that's the first way to find a template. Right now, I'm just going over how to find templates and open from different sections. So let's say you're back at the Canva homepage, you get a little overwhelmed, and you're like, I don't want to browse. I just don't want to browse. I know what I want. I'm starting from scratch. I need a presentation. That's all I need. Don't worry, you don't have to browse. What you can do instead is go to the top right next to your profile picture is the purple create a design button. In that section, when I click on it, there's a couple different things I can do. I can either simply search presentation, and then when I hover over it before I open it, it gives me like the size dimensions. The reason it does that is it's telling you like, hey, this is the size. So that way, if you're working with a print company or with the company that's like you need it within these dimensions, you know what you're opening. You can also customize the size here from that purple button that's next to your profile picture. If you know the custom size, that plus sign is where you can go ahead and customize the width and height by a certain inch, centimeters, whatever. But let's say I want a presentation. I'm going to go ahead and search it. When I search it, it gives me a whole bunch of, do you want a tech presentation, an educational presentation? Do you want just a like normal presentation? Let's say I want educational, I'm going to click on it. And what it does is it opens it up into a white page. So it's white, it's just blank. But what's awesome about Canva is the automatic tab whenever you get into this design area is the templates tab, and it lets you see all the wonderful templates that you can apply to the blank section. So you don't have to always be like, oh, wait, I forget it. I didn't want that. You can still search templates even within this area. Let's say I'm like, oh, I really like this pink, all about teacher, and I want it to be like mine, but I don't want all these slides. You can add one slide at a time. So all I did was I found one I liked, I clicked on it. If I want to add them all, I can add them all at once. So apply all 14, we'll pull them all at once. But if I don't want to add them all, I want to do one at a time, I can click it. It pulls it in, add a page, click another one that I like, add a page. Pretty much just adding things how I like. What's wonderful is you can do this with any design in Canva, from videos to presentations to flyers, infographics, etc. If your panel doesn't look like mine, if you only see this where it says add a page at the very bottom to see the panel, all you got to do is click that arrow and it'll show all your pages. Okay. So you can go ahead and add things. To get rid of a page, you can either go to that page directly, click the three dots to the right corner of it, and you can go ahead and either add a page next to it, duplicate the page, delete it, etc. Or you can go here to the trash can bin under share in the top right, and you can hit the trash can bin or hit the delete key. Either way works. But yeah, you can pull in stuff. What's wonderful about doing presentations in Canva, which I like a little bit more than doing it anywhere else, is that not only do you get these pretty templates, but you also, right next to it in the templates tab, if I click layouts right here, I can see a whole bunch of simple layouts with the colors. Right now it's thinking, but I can see simple layouts that we're used to. And there's a whole bunch that I can pull in and add. So it does a lot of that creative thinking work for me. All I have to do is, like I said, click and add and pick. That's the wonderful thing about Canva. Okay. All right. So that was how you open a template. What I want you all to do, just really quickly, just so we have it down, is I want you to go ahead, make sure you're logged into canva.com. If not, get logged in now. And then once you're at the home page, find a template. You can either find a template by going to that left-hand panel, looking for a template. You can even search it in the search bar areas, or going to that purple button in the top right and creating design. Either way works. I'll give us a minute to do that. I know it seems fast, but I want to make sure you just know how to open. That's all I'm trying to do. Make sure you know how to open it and you make sure you're logged in. So I'm going to give us a minute to debrief there. I'm going to look at the chat real quick to see if there was any questions. Xavier, I'm not sure what the flip.com code is. I'll ask in an email to Newton County, the ones who booked me, but I'm not really sure what that is. If anybody's here from that team, that'd be great. You're more than welcome to jump in and answer. I'm really only here for Canva education questions. Can I use this template on Canvas as my page? You can use templates. You can go ahead. I'll show you how to share and publish your Canva designs a little later on. And then from there, I'm not really too familiar with what you can do in Canvas, but I know you can go ahead if you link things and you have a certain way. There's videos that that Canva created to help you with your students give those assignments in Canvas. Again, though, that's not my expertise because Canvas is third party. I'll just show you where those videos are on YouTube, and then that's really where that is for us. Okay, so hopefully everybody was able to open something just to get practice to opening, or at least get logged in if you joined us late, just to get that started. With that being said, we are now at the part, if I went a little too fast and you need those reminders of how to open something or find something, on the slide deck are those reminders of how you can go ahead and open a template, where you can go ahead and start from scratch, how you can go ahead and customize width and height, and then just a simple search bar. So go ahead and redirect your eyes back to the presentation. Right now, I know it's easy to get lost in Canva as you're designing. You're like, oh, I want to keep playing. You'll have time to play, trust me, but I do want to go ahead and show you real quick all the other key terms you can search for templates, just so you can go ahead and take a moment to digest all of it. You have a whole bunch that you can use in education. And I've even seen some teachers get really creative, like take resume templates and turn them into syllabus. Or even take the resume template and make it like an activity where their students have to tell about a historical figure and make their resume. Pretty cool, awesome ideas that they just kind of started using. We have it to where student clubs have created t-shirts on Canva. Again, we had the keyword, you can search t-shirt and get that size, but it's awesome that students took it in their own hands to do that. I've seen things where they created like announcements and celebrations, and it's really amazing that you have all of these preset template ideas that you don't have to do from scratch. They're already there. All you have to do is just pick. We even have like school newsletter templates, comic strip templates, etc. And they're really building this out more and more as the school year goes, especially last school year and going to the school year. They're going to keep doing that. So yeah. And I just think about our students, how wonderful it is for student voice to show their own personality when they're designing. If they have that opportunity, it's great. And then being able to make your own like certificate or, badges, or just like, fun things you can do in your classroom to build that culture of positivity. So I'm going to keep going and show you a couple more examples. So here's some posters that you can go ahead and do. This is just showing real quick how easy it is to click on a text and just change it out. Very similar to Google and Microsoft products. You can also see those parent newsletter examples. It's very quick, but if you wanted to explore that more, what's wonderful is you can share this as a link. And then if you ever share a newsletter as a link, but make a last minute tweak, like you're like, oh, wait, I need to change something. That link that you shared will adjust to meet that adjustment. So what I mean by that is like one of our school secretaries, she makes a calendar for the school. All she does is share the same link because that calendar will go ahead and live update after a couple minutes to meet whatever adjustment she did. So it's wonderful because she doesn't have to create more than one thing. You also have those virtual class kits that you can do. These are very popular during virtual teaching, but they can still be popular if you ever do like parent-teacher conferences or stuff and they need to be through Zoom, or you're ever in a professional development leading it and you want to go ahead and have it. That's how I did mine. I just found a template, changed the colors, and voila, I was done. Took me like 2 minutes just to go ahead and adjust that and add that flair. You can also do group work activities with a team of teachers. If you want to do a little bit smaller group brainstorming activities, you can do that too with students. And you can go ahead and help them give each other feedback through Canva for Education, because we do have whiteboard templates. And then we also have a video editor where you can add your own voiceover. I'll show you a hack in Canva 201 of how to do that. But you can also just add different things to the video to add that. And then worksheets, like I said, worksheets, you can print them out. It's very easy to print them out. Or if you want to make them digital, you can make them digital by adding text boxes to them. So your students can do that. And this video GIF shows you how to go ahead and just add that text box. It's really easy with that left-hand panel to go ahead and do. And I'll show you myself in Canva 201. And then you also have these lesson plan outlets, very pretty, but very usable. And then that's pretty much that. When you opened your Canva design, and if you haven't yet, don't worry, I'm gonna let you have time to see an example. You're gonna be happy to know that everything you can use to design and edit is found on that left toolbar or top toolbar, okay? So it's wonderful because it's consistent. Whenever you're designing, everything can either be found on the left or the top, okay? You don't have to really struggle from there. All you need to know is everything to design with is that in those two sections, left and top, okay? So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and go back to the blank presentation I had, and I'm gonna show you really quick how to use the left and top toolbar. And then after I show y'all, I'm gonna ask y'all to jump in and start designing and playing and getting used to it with me, okay? So for this to work and happen, I do need a little bit of help. I need you to help me build a scene. So go ahead and tell me a location in the chat. Just a location of something I can look up here in the elements tab, a beach, okay. So what I did on the left is I switched from templates to elements. What's wonderful about elements is it has everything you can think of from pictures, videos, lines, shapes, tables, etc. I was told to look for beach, so I'm gonna go to the search bar and look for beach. Enter. From here, I can filter down if I want, but I'm just going to keep it simple. Just search it. As you can see on the left, I've gotten a lot of examples now of beaches that I can add. I have pictures, videos, graphics, animated graphics, etc. But I want to click just a background because what I'm going to do is I'm going to add to it. So I've added a picture into my Canva design. It was really easy. All I did was click on it and voila, it gets added in. Okay. After that, I can make this a background one of two ways. I can either move it to the corner and adjust it using the handles and the sizes, right? Or if it's a picture, an image, I can right click over it. So I'm going to right click. And when I right click over it, I see all these other options. Okay. As you can see, the one I'm looking for right now is that replace background option. So I'm going to click it, and in one swoop, it replaced it as a background. Okay. So now it won't move if I click or drag it. It's better. I prefer it that way. And then if at any reason I need to get rid of it, I can right click again and detach it. Okay. So right clicking is your best friend when it comes to anything like that. All right. So we're going to go with beach, y'all. Megan got it in first, so we're just going to stick with beach. Now what we're gonna go ahead and do is add things to our beach. So go ahead. As you can see, here's a beach ball. So what I'm going to do is click on it, add the beach ball, play with the handles to adjust it. I even have a rotation handle so I can rotate it. Go ahead and tell me if there's anything else y'all want me to add as I'm adding real quick. I want to go ahead and add birds probably that move at the top. So I'm going to go to birds. I like this one. He's cute. So add a bird there. I'm going to duplicate him because I think he's awesome. When I right click, I don't see that. So I'm going to go to the top right, and I see next to the trash can this duplicate icon. Duplicate it. There we go. I'm just going to move him around. There's the bird family. All right, I'm going to add some text. So here on the far left, if you direct your eyes to the left, I'm going to go to this text tab. I'm going to add, I can add text very simply. I can either pick one of these recommendations by clicking on it and it'll pull it in, and then I just click to change the text. Or if you're a little bit more simple like me, which I prefer a little bit more simple sometimes, I'm going to delete this real quick. I go to the very top and just add a heading, because when I add a heading, I can change it, right? Just like normal. And then up at the top is where I can change the color. I can change the font style. I can add effects, etc. And then I can click the handles to adjust it. Then I can go ahead and let me see a beach chair. Beach chair right there. Make that a little bit bigger. This here. Okay, so there was my quick design. Okay, nothing too elaborate. I just wanted to show you how easy it is to click and add things and adjust. You're probably wondering what the uploads tab is, because when you're brand new to it, you usually will only see templates, elements, uploads, and text. Elements and text is pretty, as long as you search, it's pretty transparent. Uploads tab is where you can upload your own images, videos, and GIFs. So for example, I want to go ahead and add an image of my dog, Annie, to the speech strip. So I'm going to go ahead and click here. I'm going to adjust it. And with one swoop, I added it. Okay. If you're trying to get pictures off your computer, you click the purple, and that's where you'll upload media. Okay. So it is possible. The reason I wanted to show you this real quick, though, before we jump in to practicing yourselves, is because with our images up in the top left kind of is the edit image feature. If I click that after I have my image in and I go to this BG remover, it will remove as best as it can the background and only pull out the front. So I only want the picture of my dog, really. I don't want the background of my living room. So it's thinking right now, okay, it's going, there we go. So pulled out my living room, it only kept my dog, and now I can go ahead and pretend like my dog Annie is on the beach, hanging out in the sand, make her bigger. So it's wonderful that you can add your own pictures and flair and stuff into it. Again, just a fun, creative thing to do. So with all that being said, I showed you a lot really quickly. I want you to play. So to add pages, I'm going to go ahead and click this plus at the bottom. I'm going to add a couple pages. I don't know how many there are of us. Seems like we're a big group, so I'm going to add, I added like 18, maybe 20. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this with y'all. I'm going to share this presentation with y'all. We're all going to work collaboratively together. So I'm going to go to the share button in the top right. I'm going to go to only people added to anyone with the link. I'm going to change it to that. And then I'm going to select yes, can edit. I'm going to copy the link. And now I'm going to paste this link in the chat. Now that it's pasted in the chat, you as participants will go ahead and go to that Zoom chat, click on the, and if you're in that other chat, I added it there too. You just copy and paste. Go ahead and click on it. I see someone already did it. A couple people. Awesome. You're getting pulled in. I can see you're getting pulled in. You can probably see me too. Now what I want you to do is pick a slide. Any slide. Once you see someone's initials are on a slide, you move to a different slide. Awesome. And start just playing, creating your own scene. And if you have any questions, let me know. We're going to spend about a couple minutes doing this just to get you used to that left and top toolbar. So go ahead and pick a scene, jump to a different blank slide and start doing that. If there's not enough slides, I will go ahead and add more. And then if any questions come up, just let me know. This is really time for you to just play and practice. If you see someone on this slide that you selected, go to a different one. Awesome. I think if you're jumping around, I think the last couple slides are free, like 25, 26. Yeah, 26 is free. Good. Awesome. If I need to add more, I'll add more. We're a pretty big group. So if you go to the end, you can kind of see it. Go ahead and make sure you are logged into the Canva account with your Newton County. So make sure you're logged into your Canva account with Newton County credentials. You won't be able to access this slide deck without being logged into a Canva account already. So you need to already have a Canva account login. So please make sure you are logged in. Awesome. Some of y'all have already found our frames and you're probably wondering what the cloud with the grass is. Think of that as like a picture frame. So what I mean by that is if you drag and drop your own pictures into that section, that's where you can go ahead and use it. That cloud with the green grass, you see it a bunch, those are our frames. Again, think of it as picture frames. You just drag and drop videos into that section, wherever the cloud and the green, once you have it in your slide, and you can go ahead and do that. This is so cool. We're a pretty big group. I'm seeing a lot of everybody's working and adding their own flair. I love it. If you have any questions, let me know. We're going to spend about another minute or two just working in it, and then I'm going to show you some last minute tips and tricks. But I'm happy a lot of y'all were able to log in. That's awesome. And to get started. If you're curious about what others are doing, I see a couple y'all jumping around. I think maybe you're just curious. So if you are curious, the best thing you can do is maybe go back to where you can see my presentation or my screen, I should say rather. And that's where you can see like our grid view and you can see everybody working in real time. And you can see like what's happening if you need to get any ideas. I'm gonna give you all a couple more seconds to play. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and move forward. Go ahead and look at my screen where I'm sharing it, just so you can go ahead and see some of the different designs and get to see the grid view. So as someone that likes to see others' ideas, if you ever do this and you like to see everything kind of at once, we do have in the bottom right corner, right now it says 53. There's a box that says 53. That number changes based on how many pages we have within a design. But if I click it, I closed it because yours will probably look like this. But if you click that number 53 in the bottom right, you can go ahead and get our grid view, which essentially is where you can see everything at once. And you can see it's right next to that zoom in, zoom out, pretty much what was happening in real time. It's just something I prefer. It's really easy also to like click a slide and move it or change it around just by clicking and dragging. So if you have a lot in it, like we do right now, 53, and I want to move things around quicker, I could just click and drag the slide over or a page. What's wonderful about Canva is, like I said, as you discovered, everything's on the left and at the top. where you can customize. Here at the bottom right is where you can view differently, the zoom in, zoom out, etc. And then here at the top right is where you find your share button. And this share button is awesome because like you saw, this is how I quickly generated the link so we can all come in and edit. What's also awesome about it is that not only can you do that, but if you go to download, that's where you'll go ahead and see the different file types you can download. So those worksheets you can download as PDFs, those presentations you can download as videos, GIFs, etc. There's a whole bunch of different ways you can download. You can also download all the presentation or design, or you can download just one page of that design, whatever you like. You also have the option of more. So if I go to more, you will see a whole bunch of other ways that you can share, publish, use third-party apps to showcase in social media all these designs that you create. It's awesome. I can't show you all of them right now, but if you're willing to play with them, trust me, they're pretty awesome. And the big ones you would want to know as a teacher, though, are these two: view only link and template link. Okay. The view only link is the link that you would want to generate to give to parents who don't have a Canva account. So let's say they don't have canva.com and that you give a newsletter and they need to be able to go to that link for that newsletter, then you're going to want them to have the view only link. Okay. So I'll show you how to do that. It's really easy. All you do is click it. It generates that link, copy it, and then send it away. Okay. The other one I mentioned was, if I go to more, this template link. The template link is awesome because that's the one that you're going to want to click on and copy and paste over, because that gives, if you send it over to someone, that gives them a preview of the design, but it generates their own copy in their own library. So they don't touch your original work. It just makes a copy for them. So that's how you can do that whole section right there. Okay. This is also, the template link is how you're going to want to share in Canvas. That was a question asked, like, how do my students make their own? Well, if you're doing something digitally and you want them to create, like using a template, you had a certain worksheet, you can do that template link, put the template link in Canvas, they click on it, make their own, work in Canva, and then turn it back in however you would prefer them to turn it back in. Okay, so going back to the presentation real quick. So we went through that. Here's more information about share. I went ahead and showed you everything, and it's listed those different things as well, like the view only link, etc. Publishing your designs is really easy with Canva as well. We do have a print shop, so if you ever want to print just from Canva, I've heard it's high quality, so you can go ahead and do that. Compare prices to something else. If you're wondering about that view or you saw everything at once, here's an arrow pointing to that little box I was mentioning in the top right corner. That's your grid view. It's amazing and I love it. And then some more Canva basics. So you can set things up in groups. So a group is essentially, let's say I have this design that I want to share with a group of principals. If the group is already created, all I have to do is go to share, start typing principals. I think it's, yeah. Everybody who's in that group as a principal, I click their name, I choose if they can edit, view, etc., send it over, and all at once they all get the same design. Okay, so the way you create your group is go back to the Canva homepage, go to your profile picture in the right, go to your account settings, and then from there on the left you will see groups. Click there, and then you see that create a group option in the top right. Okay. And it's really easy. This is just creating that group, just clicking on it, naming the group, and just adding people in, okay? You can also create folders. So if I go back to the Canva homepage and I look on the left where it says projects, once it loads, there it is, I click on projects, it will show me all of my projects, all of my designs I've ever created, but you can also create folders by going to the top right, that little plus, clicking folder, naming your folder, create the folder. You can also add, by default, everything is private to you. So if you're ever like, does everybody in the district see it? No, it's private to you. You have to intentionally go and share it with others for it to be viewable to anybody else. It's by default, only you, but create the folder. Once it's created, you go ahead and go to your design, go to the three dots, and you can move it just like Google Drive, move your design into certain folders. I do recommend doing this because, like I said, Everything in Canva saves automatically, but because that's a great thing, you also need to be in the habit of knowing where you put things. And the easiest way to do that is just by putting things within folders. Another thing that you can do, and here's the visuals as well, reminding you if I moved a little bit too fast. You can also comment on your designs. So in each page on the top right, you would have seen, like, some of y'all were playing with it. You would see like the little speak bubble with a plus. If you click that speak bubble, you can add someone and give feedback, or you can just give stickers, etc. It's really cute. It's really fun to do, especially when you have your students working. You can also upload and convert your PDFs. So if the arrow's wrong, I need to switch it. That circle should be over import file. It doesn't say PDF, it says import file. I got to there by clicking on the purple created design. But if you import a PDF, what's amazing about it is Canva will go ahead and do its best to make that editable. So you can go ahead and adjust and play with that PDF and make any changes you need to make. It's not 100% perfect, but it does try its best. I played with it a bit and I like it. So definitely something to consider, uploading your PDFs to see how much you can edit and do. You can also do in the top right corner of your designs area, the hyperlinks, hyperlink within the design, within the presentation, or outside, completely up to you. And then we also have magic keys. So these are wonderful if you're presenting straight from Canva. So if I go back to that presentation, I share it, like share, and I go to presents mode. I have a whole bunch of options, but I'm gonna do standard. I'm gonna present. Once I'm in present mode, sorry, I forgot to someone added a audio. Let me get out of here real quick. Let me delete that real quick. Sorry to whoever added it. I gotta delete it because it does play automatically. All right, now I'm gonna go back, share, present. So yes, if you have audio, it does play automatically. Just know that when you're in present mode. Once it's up, you can go ahead and use our magic keys. So B for blur will blur out the presentation. This is amazing for a teacher that if you're trying to get your students' attention on you, not the board, you can blur out the presentation real quick and then be like, okay, everybody ready? Hit B again, we're back on task. If you hit the number 0 on your keyboard, it does a 3-second timer. 5 is 5 minutes, all the way up to 9 minutes. You do automatic timers. You can do C for confetti, add some confetti while you're presenting for some fun. You can also do Q for quiet. There's a whole bunch of magic keys that you can go ahead and do in your Canva presentations when you present directly from Canva. It's really fun. I like to show students that when they're presenting, so it adds some flair, some fun, so they're like not all stressed, but it's like, ooh, I can use magic keys. And it's like, yeah, I can. If you were already a Canva user and you're like, wait, where's my old team? I had an old team under the Newton, ISD login. Have no fear. Your Canva, to switch to your old one, all you got to do is look on your Canva homepage, click on this place where it says the name of the school district, and then when you click on it, you'll see all the other teams you belong to, and you can switch back and forth between teams. If you need to move one design from one team to another, you will have to use the template link trick. There's no simple way to do that yet. So because we know that, and because they're working on it, in the presentation, there is an example with the steps of how to create that template link and go ahead and shift them over to that new one. It can be a little bit tedious, but that's how you switch it over. And then as a reminder, everything is only accessible to you until you intentionally go and share it with others. The only people who can share district-wide are those who have district admin rights. So in closing, I had to move fast. I know a couple of y'all were late, so I kind of had to go pretty fast at the end. In closing, we do have, I will be back for Canva 201 where I'll go more in detail about that toolbar on the left and the top toolbar. But if you want to learn more on your own, we have a Canva design school that's hyperlinked in the presentation slide deck. This is 100% free to teachers, and you could go ahead and learn at your own pace. Their videos, they're awesome and wonderful, and they really go into more depth of how to create like graphic organizers or fine organizers, etc. We also have one for students, which is just released within at the beginning of the summer. What's awesome about this one is not only does it have videos, but if I click this little arrow and really get into it, they have Canva activities. So your students can practice adding a shape. adding a line. This is really, I think, good for those littles that need practice with that type of stuff, just how to add a shape or a line or anything. These activities in that section are amazing, 100% free. And then we also have our Facebook group that is awesome as well. This Facebook group is full of community teachers that like to collaborate, talk about Canva, get used to things, and I put those all in.